There are SUVs that not only last a long time but are so reliable that many owners simply never sell them again. We are talking about 200,000, 300,000, or even 500,000 miles, often without major repairs and without constant trips to the mechanic. This video is about 10 SUVs that are known exactly for such a long life. First place will hardly surprise anyone. However, it gets really interesting in the middle of the list because that is exactly where a few real hidden gems are hiding. So which models are truly built to not let you down for many years to come? 10. Subaru Forester. In 10th place is the Subaru Forester, more specifically the 4th and 5th generations, meaning the models from 2014 to the present. Subaru's reputation used to be somewhat complicated, as older models did indeed have problems, especially regarding the head gasket. This exact issue haunted the brand for a long time. However, with the redesign starting in 2014, Subaru specifically addressed these weaknesses. Since then, much has been improved, and the modern Forester has developed into a truly robust and reliable everyday SUV. An important reason for this is the Boxer engine. The cylinders lie flat instead of vertically, which lowers the center of gravity and reduces vibrations. Less vibration also means less stress on many components in the long run. Add to that Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive, which has proven itself over many years in snow, rain, mud, and difficult conditions. Many owners also praise the excellent all-around visibility provided by the large windows. The Forester is exactly the kind of vehicle that quietly and inconspicuously racks up miles year after year without constantly demanding anything in return. Tucker 9. Honda Pilot. In 9th place is the 3rd generation Honda Pilot, meaning the models from 2016 to 2022. 3 rows of seats, a 3.5-liter V6, and a reputation that seems almost boringly reliable. That is exactly what makes it so strong. The most important point is that this engine is rarely pushed to its limits in everyday life. What is needed for a large SUV handling family duties, school runs, and highway miles is well below what this V6 is actually designed for. And an engine that consistently operates below its stress limit generally lasts significantly longer. In addition, Honda shared many components between the Pilot, the Odyssey, and the Ridgeline. These parts were built in massive quantities, allowing weaknesses to be quickly identified and fixed, and replacement parts are available almost everywhere. This is exactly what makes the Pilot not only durable, but also straightforward to maintain. You generally do not need a specialized shop for it. Almost any good independent mechanic can easily work on this vehicle. Weight Acura RDX. In 8th place is the 2nd generation Acura RDX, meaning the models from 2013 to 2018. And here it is really worth taking a closer look, because this model is somewhat of an underrated hidden gem. With the newer RDX generations, things got more complicated. A turbocharged engine, a more complex transmission, and an infotainment system that many owners were not particularly happy with. In the 2nd generation, however, the formula was much simpler, and that is exactly the big advantage here. This model came with a 3.5-liter V6 and a classic 6-speed automatic transmission. That is proven old-school engineering. The J-Series V6 in particular is one of the most well-known and highly regarded Honda engines ever. The crucial maintenance item here is primarily the timing belt at around 100,000 miles. If this service is done on time, the engine is considered extremely durable. Furthermore, Acura used a simpler all-wheel drive system in this generation than in later models. This means fewer potential sources of failure and cheaper maintenance. Anyone looking for genuine comfort, a quiet interior, and a premium driving experience at reasonable used car prices will find a surprisingly strong overall package here. Sub 7 Honda CR-V. In 7th place is the Honda CR-V, more specifically the 4th and 5th generations from 2012 to 2022. According to the source, 2 variants stand out in particular: the older models with the 2.4-liter K-Series engine and the newer hybrid versions. The K24 engine especially enjoys an excellent reputation among mechanics. It is considered straightforward, smooth running, and so widespread that practically every repair shop has experience with it. This exact simplicity is a big part of its strength. The running costs also remain manageable, as the average maintenance expense is only around $407 per year, according to the source. It gets even more interesting with the newer hybrid models. Honda's two-motor hybrid system largely does away with a traditional transmission because the electric motor is directly connected to the wheels. Fewer moving parts mean fewer potential sources of failure here as well. Add to that regenerative braking, which allows brake pads to last significantly longer. It is no wonder, then, that many CR-V owners are reluctant to part with their vehicles, even at very high mileages. In forums, you constantly read the same question: should I finally sell it now? And the answer is often quite simple: no, keep driving it. 6. Mazda CX-5. In sixth place is the Mazda CX-5, specifically across both generations from 2012 to the present. This model often gets less recognition than it actually deserves. Mazda took a very deliberate path with the CX-5. Instead of downsizing the engine and trimming it for efficiency with turbocharging, they opted for a high-compression 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine and an exhaust system that brings fuel economy benefits without the additional heat stress of a turbo. Mazda calls this concept Sky Active, and this exact decision plays an important role in its long-term durability. An even bigger plus is the transmission. While many competitors have opted for CVT solutions, Mazda stuck with a classic 6-speed automatic with a torque converter for the CX-5. This alone separates this model from a large part of the competition in terms of long-term reliability. Add to that an interior that feels more premium than its price tag suggests. Many owners even compare the feel of the CX-5 to significantly more expensive premium models, just with Japanese reliability and manageable maintenance costs. Ahive Toyota Highlander. At the halfway mark in fifth place is the Toyota Highlander, more specifically the third and fourth generations from 2014 to the present. 3 rows of seats, practical for everyday family use, fuel efficient, and technically closely related to the Lexus RX. That is exactly what makes it so strong. Toyota's basic idea with the Highlander is very simple. Take technology that has proven itself, use it in many models simultaneously, and produce it in such large numbers until any potential weaknesses are practically eliminated. This exact strategy is a central reason for its longevity. The hybrid version is particularly impressive. The so-called eCVT may sound like a normal CVT, but according to the source material, it is exactly the opposite. Instead of belts, bands, or clutches, it uses a planetary gear set. Toyota has been using this basic principle since the first Prius. That is exactly why this system is considered extremely well-tested. Some Highlander hybrid owners even report reaching 300,000 miles with the original hybrid battery in original eCVT. And it is exactly this combination of space, efficiency, and durability that ensures many families keep such a vehicle for a decade or longer. 4. Lexus RX. In fourth place is the third and fourth generation Lexus RX, meaning the models from 2010 to 2022. In the source material, this vehicle is considered the benchmark for reliable luxury crossovers, and not just recently. The RX 350 in particular, with its 3.5-liter V6, benefits from the fact that Toyota has built, tested, and continuously refined this powertrain over many years. When an engine is in use in such large numbers and over such a long period of time, weak points are identified and fixed. That is exactly what makes this powertrain so trustworthy. This becomes particularly clear when compared to many high-mileage German luxury SUVs. While they often experience expensive problems with air suspension, electronics, or specialized components at 100,000 miles, an RX in this mileage range frequently needs little more than tires and regular fluid changes. That is exactly why many owners simply describe this model as a car that always works. Add to that durable interior materials, a quiet ride, and repair costs that remain surprisingly manageable. 3. Toyota Sequoia. In third place is the second generation Toyota Sequoia, covering the models from 2008 to 2022. And when it comes to pure load reserves, this vehicle is one of the most impressive models on the entire list. The Sequoia is based on the Toyota Tundra pickup platform. The axles, frame, and cooling system were therefore originally designed for significantly harder work. When such a vehicle is then primarily used as a family SUV, many of these components operate well below their actual load limits most of the time. That is exactly one of the main reasons for its enormous durability. Under the hood is the 5.7-liter V8, Toyota's 3URFE. This engine has a reputation that seems almost legendary. The source material even mentions that Tundra owners with this powertrain have reached the 1 million mile mark. The figure from IC cars is also particularly strong. Around 39.1% of Sequoia models from this generation surpass 250,000 miles. That is roughly 8 times the average. It is exactly these kinds of numbers that show just how exceptionally robust this SUV really is. 2. Lexus GX 460. In second place is the second-generation Lexus GX 460, meaning the models from 2010 to 2023. At first glance, this vehicle looks like a luxurious SUV meant for quiet suburban streets and well-kept parking lots. But that is exactly where its secret lies. Beneath the leather, wood trim, and Lexus emblem is actually a globally utilized Land Cruiser Prado. According to the source material, this is exactly the type of vehicle that international aid organizations, military contractors, and expedition teams rely on in extreme regions. It was therefore not developed for comfortable everyday commutes, but for situations where a breakdown can have serious consequences. Add to that a powertrain that has remained almost unchanged over many years. A 4.6-liter V8 paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission. This consistency in particular is a major advantage, as it allowed potential weak points to be identified and fixed over a long period of time. For the suspension, according to the source material, Lexus also opted for a mechanical hydraulic solution called KDSS instead of a complex fully electronic system. Less electronics here also means fewer potential sources of error. That's exactly why the GX460 is considered by many to be one of the strongest used car deals out there. A 1. Toyota 4Runner. In first place is the 5th-generation Toyota 4Runner, meaning the models from 2010 to 2024. And just as the source material states, this ranking really surprises no one. The 4Runner has been on the market almost unchanged for many years. And in this case, that is not a drawback, but the very reason for its reputation. While other manufacturers have constantly chased new trends with turbocharged engines, increasingly complex transmissions, and massive screens, Toyota deliberately stuck to a proven, simple, and robust formula for the 4Runner. That is exactly what its owners love about it. The 4.0-liter V6 uses a timing chain instead of a timing belt, meaning there is no fixed replacement interval and no massive surprise bill at higher mileage. Added to this is a 5-speed automatic transmission, which the source explicitly describes as overbuilt for the vehicle. The classic body-on-frame construction also plays a major role, as it handles heavy loads, high mileage, and poor road surfaces better than many modern crossovers with unibody construction. In short, the 4Runner is the SUV equivalent of a cast-iron skillet, simple, rugged, and built to last forever. Ultimately, this list shows one thing above all. If you buy the right SUV and don't neglect maintenance, a vehicle like this can stay with you for many years, sometimes even decades. What matters here is not just the name on the hood, but above all, tried and tested technology, simple and proven designs, and components that have proven to be durable over a long period of time. That is exactly why these models have their reputation. If you enjoyed this overview, feel free to support the channel with a like and a subscription. Videos like this are posted here every week.